Sul Sul. Hello, and welcome to Under the Plumb Bob, the podcast about all things related to the EA Maxis series of games called The Sims. If you're new here, you'll learn very quickly about us, how much we love this game, and how difficult it is to say our podcast title. With me today are a few co-hosts for our Social Bunny episode. Here and there we do some news and updates episodes, but stick around if you're interested in other aspects of The Sims. We talk about lore, NPCs, gameplay, challenges, all kinds of good stuff. So, as I said, today we're going to jump into the latest news from the Sims world, particularly the January and February Maxis Monthly episodes. They were live streamed via Twitch from the Sims team. But before we get started, I wanted to make a very happy announcement. Jane of Team Llama has joined Team Social Bunny officially. Jane, we're so happy to have you here. Tell us a little bit about your gameplay style for anyone who hasn't listened in yet.
Hi, so I'm Jane, and I like to boil my Sims gameplay down to its essence, I like making very large, very diverse families with really long and detailed backstories. And I've been playing The Sims since I was 9 years old. And if you listen to Team Llama's recent episode on diversity in The Sims, you already know diversity is very important to me. So, all my Sims are different people, and I've been playing for a very long time.
Yeah, Jane provided some really great insight on our diversity episode, which you can catch on our website, undertheplumbbob.com. Also with us this episode is Team Cowplant favorite, Marissa. Hi, Marissa. Thanks for joining us.
Team Cowplant favorite. Ooh, that's a good introduction for me. Hello. Hi, guys. This is Marissa. I just decided to butt into Team Social Bunny because I am nosy, but you'll hear me on the next Cowplant episode.
So I'm going to start by talking about the Maxis Monthly from January of this year, and the focus on that Maxis Monthly was on the new Alexa voice-activated system and the new The Sims application created for use on the Echo Dot, which is not something that I currently own, but now I need one because I need to do the Sims thing. So it says it creates a nostalgic experience with The Sims 1 to The Sims 4 music, trivia, and facts. Cool. All right, and if you say, Alexa, play The Sims, it will bring you to the app and then greet you with Alexa saying Sul Sul, which is hello in Simlish. And supposedly it contains all music from the Sims franchise, and you can say, Alexa, play music or play rock music because it sorts by genre. So the trivia has beginner, casual, and challenge mode, and you can tell it to keep score, continue, or stop, and it goes up to 5 questions. Each question is multiple choice in both beginner and casual mode, and challenge mode, interestingly enough, does not have multiple choice. Which I don't know if I do very well on that.
Yeah.
All right, so and it says multiplayer or single player, and the multiplayer will ask different questions to each player. Learn about The Sims, which when it started, 2000, who created it, will write, etc. We all know most of these things, probably. So fun facts, 80% of players use cheats. That makes me feel better about my constant spamming of Motherload. And apparently Rosebud is the most popular cheat, which I believe.
That's a deep cut. Rosebud is from long, long ago. That's funny.
Rosebud is from Sims 2, isn't it? Isn't that where that originated?
No, Rosebud Sims 1.
Really? Oh, wow.
Distinctly remember Rosebud was Sims 1.
See, that tells you how much Sims 1 I ever played, because I kind of I started with Sims 1, but then I saw Sims 2 and I was like, this is so much better. I need to play this instead. So that's my first, I don't want to say that was my first Sims game because it wasn't, but it was the first one that I really got deep into.
Yeah.
So, let's see. So when you say stop, Alexa will reply dag dag, which I believe is goodbye. Discovered secret Simlish. If you speak Simlish, Alexa will reply and the word will show on the screen. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've done the little game and it's pretty cool. It's pretty challenging, I guess.
Oh, cool.
It would be fun if you are having a friend over and they play The Sims or used to play The Sims, and it's just if you're alone and you're bored. I mean, it's fun.
So, all right, my question would be I don't know, is there really any replay value to it? did you eventually like get back to trivia questions that you'd already heard?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't play it that long, but I've heard that. I've
Yeah.
like looked it up on different I've watched some different YouTubers do it. I think like
Yeah.
what's his name? The Sim Supply guy, James, I think he did a video. I think Dellagrassi did a video. I don't remember. Anyway, but a couple of people did a video, and like I pretty much when I did it, I had like all their same questions. So like there's not a ton of different questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my beef with it,
it's not a
honestly.
huge amount. See, that kind of puts
Yeah.
me off of it because it's like, why would I play something that's
Yeah.
only going to last like 5 minutes, you know? Which, I don't know. I guess if you're really bored, you know.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like a party trick, I guess. If you randomly have someone who also likes The Sims in your house, it's kind of fun to do if like you just want to sit and test your Sims knowledge.
Exactly. And the developers, they made a point to say that this was a passion project for some members, and they know it's not for everyone, and not everyone owns an Alexa-enabled system. It's something different they could add. And they added also that it hasn't taken time away from any of their game development that we still want to see. So that's good to know that it's not like some huge
very interesting
thing. Yeah, it's interesting to get these little inside glances on how they split up things that the team does, you know?
And I think it's interesting that they made it a point to like, I don't want to say cover their butts, but sort of be like, this isn't, we didn't like devote time to this. Like the game, we're still working on the game. It almost feels like a preparing for like a backlash over this Alexa game.
There was.
I think that's fair because like not to start talking crap about other companies, but some other game companies, it's like they will just like throw things at you and expect you to take them, and it's like people will just go nuts if it's not up to their specifications. I mean, I guess I could name drop a little bit. Fallout 76 would be one example of major like player disappointment at launch.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't touched that yet.
I don't want to get into that, but that's not a Sims thing. But you can Google it. It basically had a disastrous launch, and they're still trying to, I think, recover from it. I don't know, but sometimes that happens, and it's good to see that that's not happening with the Sims team, and that they seem to value transparency more to prevent things like that.
That was the thing with I forget what it was. It was one of the free updates.
First person camera.
Yes, first-person camera. Thank you. People were like, why are you giving us first-person camera and not university, not horses, not farmland? People were cars. People were freaking out about it. And they're like, they had to backtrack and say, no, we didn't like put a team on this. It was just people, extra people who had extra time worked on this extra thing. And so that's where that stems from. So that's funny that now every free update, they're like, no, like we didn't devote people to this. They just did it by themselves.
And like, I kind of feel bad that they feel the need to do that. But it's like, listen, the fandom asks for very few things. Cars, university, horses, farm.
Right.
It's such a short list of like things that are super specific that like we've been asking for literal years.
Like witches.
Yeah.
I want horses so bad. I was so disappointed when the Pets Pack didn't have horses. I was just like, really? Like you're going to take a step back like that? Okay. So now I started playing Sims 3 again this weekend because I'm like, I want to breed some horses. And it's like, I just wish I could do that in The Sims 4 because The Sims 4 is like my little happy place. I have all my mods and things that I like, and I don't have those in Sims 3.
Talk about a step back.
So problem. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I try not to complain, but it does bother me. It's like, how hard is it to throw one more animal in there?
I mean, I think with the new trend of, these free content updates, which we'll get to February's in a moment.
Yes.
I feel like horses are a good candidate for that. I mean, it's one item. I mean, you could give it. I don't know. For me, that. And I'll say this for the millionth time on the show, I'm not a developer. I do not know how to code. I do not know all of the stuff that goes into making this game. But to me, I feel like that falls into the category that like the first person camera added. Like that's like a paradigm change of an adjustment, but it applies to all worlds. So if they can do that, give me a freaking horse,
Yeah, or a car.
Yeah.
Let's look at it this way, and I don't want to, talk too much crap again on the developers because I do like the developers.
Yes, we do love the developers.
just from my standpoint as a lowly fan, I think there's some very large dogs in The Sims 4 already, right? So it's like, couldn't you program a horse basically to run off the same engine and the same animations and just have a horse skeleton of some sort and run the horse off the same coding? I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Little Sebastian.
Exactly. Can we get a Shetland pony or
Little
something?
Sebastian, yes.
God.
I would take a mini horse as a content update, like a free patch. That'd be hilarious.
I think they would have to add it in like a farm DLC or something, like a paid DLC, only because not everybody owns cats and dogs, so it doesn't really make sense to have that. I don't know.
I'd take it there too. I'd pay for a farm patch.
I paid for the damn, My First Pet stuff pack. I'll pay for anything.
Same. Yep.
You want my money?
My money.
Marissa, do you have an Alexa or a Dot or an Alexa Echo?
Yeah,
Amazon
I
Echo.
do.
Thank you. There we go. Thank you, Brain.
I have an Alexa in my kitchen and a Dot in my bedroom. And I will say, so nice to wake up to an alarm with using Alexa to wake up, because you have to scream at her to get her to shut up. So it really wakes you up.
Wait.
So normally with my phone,
nice.
I've been using my phone as an alarm since I was in high school or junior high or whatever. So I'm so used to having a phone as an alarm that sometimes I'll turn it off without realizing it and without waking up. So when I have an Alexa as alarm, I'm half asleep, on Alexa off, and I have to get out of bed and shout at her for the alarm to go off.
Girl,
shut up! So yeah, really works. Highly recommend.
So I told this story on the last episode of Social Bunny with Caitlin, who now is a permanent resident on Team Llama. We did a couple switcheroos in case you haven't noticed, but we got Jane on this team now, so it's all working out pretty great. So go to that episode to hear the full story, but my boyfriend and I in our apartment had an incident with an Echo Dot where it started speaking in tongues randomly. So that's pretty much sums up my feelings about the Alexa situation.
See, that's weird. That sounds like something a Furby would do. That's creepy.
God. Don't get me started on Furbies.
Creepy. Yep.
Oh,
yikes.
Well, yeah, I know. They freak me out.
Yeah. Cool. So I am going to talk about the February update. So if you guys didn't get a chance to see the Maxis Monthly on Twitch, and they also put it on YouTube after they stream it on Twitch, there was a really cool update this month. If you haven't updated your game, please remove your mods and script mods folder from your game, update the game, then put the mods back in. Sim Guru Kate told us to do it, so we will do it. But the update's pretty cool. The major update that they shared since this update happened on February 5th, they actually put some great Lunar New Year items. So they have a bunch of outfits for adults and kids, and they're what did they call Sim Shangri-La or whatever is what they call the Sims, Asian inspired. But they have a bunch of cute outfits. They have a little kumquat tree with the red envelopes that you put little money in. They have those, that tree. They have a new round table with matching chairs. That's super cute. Even if you're not doing an Asian quote unquote style house, it's still really pretty. There is oranges with the little red envelopes as a centerpiece, red envelopes by themselves. They also have 2 new meals. They have some vegetable dumplings and mud carp. And mud carp is a fish dish. And that requires level 10 cooking. So I haven't even been able to make it yet because my Sims are never level 10 cooking. But the dumplings are good. I've made those. So yeah, pretty cool.
Shang Sim La, wasn't that the Asian location in Sims 3 for World Adventures, yeah.
Yeah, World Adventures.
Yeah.
I love that one.
It was their stand-in for China.
Yep.
Shang Sim La. And it was cool what they did, which I thought was really special that they did this. Sim Guru Kate said that they consulted with Korean, Chinese, Japanese. They spoke with those people in Vietnamese to make sure that they didn't have any real characters or kanji on the decorations, which I thought was really important because that'd be really bad if they had like a bad word or like a evil word or something on like kumquat tree or like,
Well, there's that. And then there's also like, if they did put a certain character or whatever, maybe it wouldn't appeal to every demographic anymore because it has that specific thing on it. And that's not part of, someone's culture. So they don't want to use the item or whatever.
Exactly. Because I like that they took the time to consult like I assume like a wide variety of cultures to look at all of their languages and make sure that and when you see these little symbols on the tables and stuff, you can tell it doesn't look like anything. It's just a little
inspired.
You can tell it's literally just a picture. It's not an actual character. Yeah, which I like because The Sims isn't in the real world. It's in a made-up universe. So it's not supposed to be any real culture, So I like that they kind of play homage to real cultures. I think that's cool.
Very cool. Yeah, in addition to the really cool new stuff that we got, there were also a couple like fixes and, general like bug fixes. And if you want to see the full patch notes, you can find those in our show notes for today's episode or on the EA site.
The next thing we wanted to talk about today is the rumors of University expansion pack possibly coming because on The Sims, on The Sims 19th anniversary blog post, there's a photo and it features a Sim streaking along with fellow teen and young adult Sims in a courtyard surrounded by red brick buildings. And there's also a lunchbox and a backpack in the photo. All of this has sparked University rumors. Which honestly, in terms of packs, like I don't know about anyone else, but that's the kind of pack that I'm most looking forward to and like I'm most missing or find myself missing the most. And to that end, I'm actually working on a script mod for University, it's a rabbit hole mod, where kind of like how your sim will go to work. It's basically the same concept because it's a custom career, but I'm trying to create some custom objectives that your sim also has to complete at home in order to like advance in the classes and stuff. So it's something I'm working on in the meantime, just while we wait for an official pack. But yeah.
Yeah, so what you're saying to me is that while I wait for this seemingly inevitable Sims 4 University update, expansion, however they're going to package this, that I can download your mod, which is in beta, correct?
Yeah, it hasn't even been posted yet. Like, that's how, it's still in its infancy because I'm working out some kinks first. But yeah, once it's posted, it'll be on my site, which is in the show notes. So, yeah.
JanePlaysSims.wixsite.com. Beautiful. So it sort of works like going to work, right?
It's
like when your sim leaves for work.
And with each class that I put in, your sim has to advance a certain skill to level 2 before they can advance. So like with the introductory writing class, they have to advance their skill to level 2. And then they get into introductory computer science where they have to go to programming level 2, et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of it. You have to develop certain skills, and then once you get to the actual university level, there's different majors that I'm working on. But again, I have to set these custom tasks, and it's actually proving very difficult to do. So
that is so stinking cool.
It's not quite the way that I want it yet, though, because so far it's like I can only send them to the thing and then tell them, come home and build your logic skill or whatever. It's like I can't do, I can't do like come home and write a book or come home and paint a painting. I want to have like tangible, tangible assignments, so to speak. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like homework. I love that. So if our listeners wanted to contribute to helping you kind of build this mod out, can they go to your site or to our site and then your site to find your site to get that mod and kind of, leave some comments on gameplay and how it's going?
Yeah, that would be good, especially also if you know how to code mods for The Sims 4, because I could actually really use some help on the coding end of things. I figured out the very basics, but I can't quite make it do what I want to do because I'm just sitting here looking at Sims 4 Studio like, what do I do now? So, yeah, if anybody has any coding expertise, that'd be good.
Get in touch with us because, not only do we want to hear from you, but we'd love to collaborate with you also.
Yeah, and I'll be putting a contact form on my own website as well, not to keep promoting myself, but if you are interested in a university type of gameplay experience and, want to help me build it from the ground up, any feedback you can give would be appreciated, and also especially if you know how to code stuff, because I do need help with that. So, Yeah.
Plenty of ways to find it.
Lots of
Yeah,
things.
that's so exciting. But yeah, I've seen so many videos about this university. And just, I'm sorry, I have to keep talking about this picture. To go back to the picture, because I sat and just looked at everything in this picture.
Yeah.
And so, okay, I didn't, I don't know how I feel when The Sims 3 University, I loved it. But the whole like nerds, geeks, jocks, or rebels, geeks, jocks, you know, the whole thing. I don't know how I felt about that because, like,
Oh, yeah.
that's not really a,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
didn't like, I wasn't, yeah. There were a lot of things in the university system that I wasn't a fan of. Like, if I remember right, and I haven't played it in like, I don't know, 6 years, but I'm pretty sure with university, you can't bring your pets to university with you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little realistic.
Oh, yeah, but
I don't.
what if I'm playing a sim that has
yeah.
a service animal or something? You know, what if
That's true. That's
I gotta
true.
bring,
That's
I
a
gotta
great
bring my
point.
chihuahua or whatever, like,
This is my emotional support sloth, and he needs to sit with
I want an
me.
emotional support slot.
That's a real thing, though. When I was in college, there was always service
It should
animals.
be, because that's fucking awesome. Yeah. No, that's a great point.
Yeah. But the reason I bring it up is so, and like with the whole nerds jocks thing, there's a nerd guy like in the photo, like I mean stereotypical suspender and high socks, all that stuff. So it's been some debate, like are they bringing that concept back? Because I feel like sororities are more genuine to the college experience, not necessarily like nerds, jocks, all that.
Yeah.
But
did The Sims 2 University have sororities and fraternities?
Yeah, it did.
You had to like them though. You had to like qualify.
I remember
I think
that.
Yeah, you had to be friends with them and stuff.
I think with university though, I think what happened with The Sims 3, it was like, and I saw this as a trend across all the packs for Sims 3. It was like, I felt like at times, they tried to take these huge steps forward, but then it was like they ended up kind of going backwards in some aspects. So, which I don't think The Sims 4, for all of the complaining that I do about, it's too slow to get expansions or whatever, it's like, it hasn't suffered those same, I feel, quality of life issues where updates just bring down the gameplay instead of improving it. So I think it's better.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, they take their time, and there's definitely care put into everything. Not that earlier versions were not, but I've said this many times. I think the people developing the games are so much more connected to the fan base now with the help of social media and an open community. So my thought is, the nerds, jocks, rebels, those sort of groups, aren't they kind of already taken care of with Get to Work? Like you could just make clubs
with Get Together.
I mean, vein,
Get Together,
definitely.
It's like Get to Work, but Get Together.
What did I say?
Get Together.
Thank you. Yes,
it's like
Get Together.
So club oriented. It's like my sim is being asked to join that, nerd club every 5 minutes. Like every time I play a doctor sim, it's like, oh, you want to join this nerd club? And I'm like, no, I have to work, 30 million hours a week as a surgeon or whatever. I don't have time. Like
I can't join your stupid swingers club, damn it. Get out of here, Bjorn.
Yeah, exactly. I can't join your wicked whims club. Like no.
That actually, you know what? I didn't even consider that, but that is genius. Instead of making it a separate university thing, but then what would they do if people didn't have Get Together? Yeah.
And also, even with that, it's like, how would you, how would you have things like going to class and doing homework? And, it would have to be a whole other system.
Yeah, I think that they might have, I think it would make sense for them to create a separate world, like the jungle, a Salvadorada.
Yeah.
That would make sense that you go and stay there for a little bit, but you can't actually live there. I think that would probably make more sense.
Well, they did the same thing with Sims 2 and Sims 3. You would temporarily go to the university world, and then as soon as you graduated, you'd come
get out.
home.
Normal people, or not normal people, but like families, elders, like they couldn't live in that world. Yeah, it's only students. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. Because if it was just if it was, I don't know, I think it needs to be another world. But the other thing is I think there should be like a community college aspect to this too, where you do stay in the regular neighborhood and just go to college through a rabbit hole.
Yeah, there should be like, university lot type, and then you can place a functional university, wherever you want. So you don't have to go off to the university world. You can build your own school and say, oh, this is a school for people who need remedial studies or whatever. Like, I think that would add more storytelling.
Or like a trade school.
Oh yeah, 100%. Trade school also.
From a development standpoint, do you think that could be achieved sort of in the same way that like you can own a business, or you could have those non-rabbit hole occupations?
Yeah, I think it would work similarly to, like, let's say the scientist career from Get to Work. You have to actually go to work and complete tasks. Like, that's the kind of thing I'm thinking of. And that's the kind of thing I wish I could do with my own university mod, but I just don't know how to code that much. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I would see is, they go to a class and it's like an active work day, except it's a class. So,
right.
And then the other thing I wanted to say, because brought up trade school, if we were to have a trade school type of thing, it would make more sense to bring back like, firemen and police and, I don't know, like you could actively go to work and be a plumber even, because like you learn the handiness skill at your little trade school or whatever. I don't know. It's just something I thought of. But and then like if you were a cop, it would tie into the Get to Work cop thing, and you could actually arrest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking too much. See, this is why I want.
No, stop saying that. You are not thinking too much. This is like the most fun that we have together talking about what this could be. And you have great insights.
This is why I wish the Sims team would hire me, but I'm unfortunately not studying computer programming, so I don't think it's going to happen. I studied English instead, so
Womp womp.
Rip. It's okay.
But no, I think that's so smart. And if they could, even if they just did what you're saying, where it's like a Get to Work kind of thing, where it's a you have an active day at school, even if that is the university aspect, I think that people would be happy with that. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a different world with sororities and all that stuff, but even just a playable school day, because that's what we really haven't had. Because with Sims 2, they just left the lot. They just went in a rabbit hole to school. And with Sims 3, they had to do a bunch of different things, but their actual classes, it was technically a rabbit hole, because they would just go into the building and just disappear for a while.
Not every class, certain ones. You would go and rabbit hole for tests and stuff, but there were classes you could take. I mean, what's stopping them from having a Get to Work style classroom building, or maybe a couple of them, who knows?
I think that's probably what they're going to do. That just makes the most sense. Like, I would assume there is a university pack coming based on that picture, and I'm pretty sure it's going to
God, I hope so.
I mean, there's a lunchbox, backpack.
I mean, and you could do the same sort of non-rabbit hole Get to Work style. You could have like a frat house or a sorority house. True. It can be just like, or maybe that's more the community lot that you can go to and throw parties. And
that's why I'm thinking the whole, other university world, because it's like, where else are you going to fit all the frat houses and the sorority places and, the college campus and everything? It's like, it needs another world, but that's just me,
There's plenty of content to justify a whole nother area.
Also, I mean, I think we just need more room to build, period, So it's like if we had a university world, hopefully it would also have some kind of residential section where you can just live in the university world,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that they would, because that was consistent with both games. I personally think they should do both. I think they should have a university world where people leave their neighborhood and go to a university with a traditional university experience, but then, like what Jane's saying, have a community college or whatever they want to call it experience where it's just an active day. I think they should have both, because that makes more sense, but that's a lot to do, so I don't know if they'll do that, but that makes sense to me.
I mean, I would wait until November of next year for that. I'd wait that long. Yeah. I'd be fine. I mean, I'm stamping my foot the whole time. Come on. But I mean, look at this picture. He's streaking. That is an interaction that, I mean, you get skinny dipping, but streaking, at least in 3, if I'm remembering correctly, like that was an interaction that was only introduced in that university kind of world. Do you know what I mean? So that's clue number 1 for me,
And can you streak in The Sims right now? I don't think you can.
No, you
I
can't.
don't think so.
And it's like, even
Yeah.
if the university pack, or whatever it would be, even if it was just a game pack and it wasn't quite as in depth as we're, envisioning as we sit here, it's like I would still be happy with that, because at this point I'm clinging to any scraps of a higher education system I can find, So it's
I mean, I don't know if I'd be happy with it, just because there is so much content that can be for university. Like this, this is one of the ones that, we got seasons, we got pets. This is like kind of the last one. We're standing on a milk crate going, give us university.
exactly.
After this, you kind of just, if you're looking back at past games, like this is the last one they really haven't done. A farm pack would be unprecedented and would be lovely. But as far as the major pillars of this game,
they haven't,
university is the only one that's missing still.
And like witches.
And we can't even say, there'll never be a farm pack or whatever, because we don't know, because they've never done that kind of thing.
Yeah.
My thinking is, they're going to add horses in some sort of pack. And I think what happened was they just wanted to split up all the animals to cut down on resources. Because if you look at it, it's like, the My First Pet pack, it had the hamsters and stuff, which I feel like they could have included that in the pets expansion itself. But on the other hand, I understand why they didn't. Kind of, I think they want to split things up and kind of give us more content. I don't know.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yeah. I think it's from both a money standpoint and then also a software development type of thing. So
yeah, maybe it's easier. I definitely do get that from The Sims 4 team, is that they want to not blow up everyone's computers. So I think that they're overtly cautious, probably, which is fine as long as it comes out, as long as it goes on sale, like how it's been happening. Like they've been putting Sims 4 itself was on sale for like $10 over the holidays. Like as long as they keep what they're doing, where they have things launched, but they put them on sale relatively soon, at least like 9 months to a year after it's launched, I think that that's fine, because people can just wait if they really can't afford it, it's not a big
I think
deal.
that works, and I like that they kind of try to discount their products as well. So it's like, on the one hand, they are making a ton of money, but on the other hand, it's like they're not so greedy that they never offer sales or what have you. So,
right.
Like Nintendo.
Yeah. No shade, but also, yes, all the shade.
Cut that
shade.
But
we can throw shade. It's fine.
But yeah, no, I'm excited. And
there's the Sims like Threadless. It's a merch store basically, and I'm gonna go look at these because I actually haven't seen these. But if you go to thesims.threadless.com, you can basically buy yourself some Sims merchandise, and I'm actually going to look at these as we speak. So please hold slow.
I mean, for me, it needs to be a real good looking design for me to like be outwardly like wearing something Sims related. But like, I'd wear any of those. They're cute. They're pretty.
I love the shirt that has the 19th anniversary pack plumb bob on it. That's so cute.
Yeah, we kind of buried the lead there. The Sims is 19 years old. Should we talk about that?
It is, which is crazy. That's like, The Sims has been around almost as long as I've been alive, because I'm 24. I'm going to turn 25 in July. So it's like, it's weird to think it's 19 years old, because it's like I started playing The Sims when I was like in primary school, and now I'm an adult, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, we are the Sims generation.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm going to be 26 in July, though, which is so weird to think about. I'm so old. But yeah, same. We've had it basically, from the time we were old enough to start playing games, that's when The Sims came out, So, but this merch is super cute. I would wear this. Like, there's some of them that aren't as obvious, like the llama ones. So if you're like a low-key Sims player, like you don't want to shout it from the rooftops, I think this is great little merch.
Yeah. There's some stuff that's a little less ostentatious, shall we say.
Yeah, and it's like $20. Typical merch prices. Yeah,
I like it. Sim Guru Kate tweeted on January 23rd of this year. She tweeted, "Remember that survey we asked you to fill out back in November? We'll be doing the monthly, and it's time for our first one of the year. If you have 3 to 5 minutes, can you please fill this out? It really does help us help you." So it's a little survey about basically their community engagement type things that they do, and like, what do you think of the Sims franchise overall? And I think that's an important thing to fill out and make sure you get that in there, because if you do have some strong opinions, which I'm sure we all do, because hello, obviously, make sure you fill that out.
Yeah, and if you happen to be filling it out and you come across a question that says maybe, where do you get your Sim news, or where do you, get, how do you interact with the Sims community? If you felt like putting down the answer, I listen to Under the Plum Bob podcast, I mean, it would not help us. Who knows? But it's just another way that we can kind of get our name out there. So tell your friends, tell everybody you know. Under the Plum Bob podcast is a great source for Sim news, as demonstrated on this episode of Social Bunny. So yeah, if you're listening to our Lord and Savior Sim Guru Kate, take the survey and drop us, name drop us a little bit. That'd be super rad if you could do that.
Yeah, you have to take the survey under a full moon, and then also sacrifice a freezer bunny. I don't think the instructions got into that, but
yes, that is so funny.
I try.
I love it.
I just thought, you said Lord and Savior, and I started thinking about like sacrifices, and I was like, I don't want to say llama because that's a real animal. Let's do freezer bunny.
Amazing. Or like a gnome.
I don't know. I've been snowed in the last few days. I think it's getting to my head. Don't mind me.
He's stir crazy. That is hilarious. Speaking of Sims in the news, there was this kind of great article on a site called Fast Company. Now, this is sort of a business tech site where you can get news about, the latest goings on in the world of business and finance, so to speak. And it's this kind of, it's a fluffy piece, but the title is Meet the Designers Who Make a Living Building Tiny Houses on The Sims. And it showcases some of our favorite YouTubers.
So yeah, Sim Supply, and then Deligracy, I believe is how you pronounce her name.
Deligracy, like calligraphy?
I could be wrong. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard people pronounce. Yeah, I'm sure she has a real, like, actual human name. That, yeah, you know what I mean. It's a screen name. That's
because she's Australian, I think.
Probably, yeah. Shout outs, and they're actually quoted. So Fast Company reached out to them for, a brief interview. And yeah, this article features some of their greatest tiny house builds. If you're interested in tiny houses, check out our episode on tiny houses, episode 14. Mm-hmm. That was a Team Llama episode, so check that out if you're interested in tiny houses. But yeah, it was nice to see this come up because it's, a nice little shout out for a game we all love in the broader expanse of pop culture. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was neat. And it's also it's interesting because that's an example of, how do the Sims sometimes intersect with real life? Because you look at, real life trends, and I guess I wouldn't know because I've never looked into this, but I guess tiny houses are trendy, in real life. And then people started building them in The Sims as well. And that kind of took off. And now I need to go try to build a tiny house. So I thought that was pretty neat.
It's definitely really cool. It's even taken off to the point where my husband, who knows nothing about The Sims besides what I tell him, is not in this world at all. Even he says to me, "Oh, so are tiny houses a thing in The Sims?" And I'm like, "Why did you ask me that?" And he was like, "Oh, I saw an article on some reputable news site, and it was talking about how." I actually, maybe it was this article. I forget which one he was talking about, but he was the article was about, tiny homes, so they're taking over, and people in The Sims are obsessed with tiny homes. It's a thing that is in the world. That's kind of what Sims is known for by the layman right now is tiny homes. Mm-hmm. So it's really interesting. Crazy. It's interesting to see what we.
It's crazy. It's we're getting into these non-gamer, non-simmer sections of the world. It's really weird.
We're coming for you, real world. We're creeping in
out of the Sims world and into the real world.
Aha! We're gonna have to change our tagline. I liked how the article kind of talked about it as this is a way that these people make money. I mean, YouTubers have all kinds of challenges when it comes to making income from YouTube. But, as long as you support and watch and subscribe to your favorite simmers, then that's a way that they can make their living by making all these great builds that we love so much. So pretty interesting that what we do can support that.
Definitely. Oh, and I didn't even say, I feel like I've been watching a lot of Sim Supply videos the last week. I don't know why. I've been needing inspiration for building because I've been building a lot of stuff this week. And he was actually in the Maxis Monthly for like 2 minutes. But still, it was really crazy that this guy, and I mean, I've seen a couple of his videos, and he said that he started playing like way back in the day. I haven't been watching him for that long, but I guess he's been making like Sims YouTube videos for a long time now. Because in the Maxis Monthly, they said, didn't they say like 10 years or something? Something crazy like that. So it's crazy to think that this guy, who's just a normal everyday guy, just making Sims YouTube videos, like not, he's just making YouTube videos. Yeah, he's a really good builder, but he's just doing that. And now he's in a Maxis Monthly. The Sims are like flying him out, the company, and he feels comfortable because you've watched the Maxis Monthly. He literally like does not give two shits about what they think. They said like, oh, what's your favorite thing about The Sims? And he was like, oh, it's not Sims 4. Like he made all these like snarky jokes to them and was like very much himself. Like he wasn't trying to impress them or anything. So the fact that this like everyday guy can make a name for himself and also like be a voice of the community, I guess, to like EA and tell them the truth and what the community actually thinks about them, I think is absolutely insane, because that's not the trend that we normally see. Like anytime we see people go on these like special trips with brands, there's like, oh, the brand is so amazing, everything they do is perfect, I love this brand, blah, blah, blah. And I like that the Sims community isn't like that. We're like, are you giving us free stuff?
Yeah.
You're not that great.
It's like The Sims, what they'll do, they'll fly out, whatever, and they want your opinion, but it's like they really do want your honest opinion. They don't want you to be a kiss ass, frankly.
Yes.
I don't know. I've never gotten the impression, that the people that are, flown out by EA, all the game changers or whatever, I've never gotten the impression that they're speaking anything less than their honest opinion. I've never felt like they feel like they have to censor themselves or anything like that, which is nice.
Yeah, and I love that because that's so hard to find these days.
It really is.
You can't even watch any other video on YouTube, even like a video that doesn't seem sponsored. If you look at the like notes, sometimes it'll say like ad or this is a sponsored link or it has all this stuff. It's like, why is everyone a commercial? Like, how did this happen? Like, you just want real stuff.
Also, even just the language some people use. It's like you can tell these videos are sponsored even if they don't say it, because it's like they talk, like you said, they kind of talk like they're in a commercial. It's like you can tell,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So it's nice. And as you know, we have a commitment to stay ad-free. If you're looking for that in your world, because I definitely am. I feel like everything I look at is commercials nowadays, and it's so frustrating. So it's nice just to listen to something that's just people giving their opinions,
We cannot be bought.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
not ever. Speaking of finances, ka-ching, ka-ching. This might have been discussed on an episode, but did anyone have I had something called a cheat rock, because back in the day, you didn't have to type it over and over again. I think this is for one. You could type it in and then hold the enter bar down.
Oh.
Or the return. You know what I mean?
See, I didn't know that when I was playing. That would have been really nice to know.
I had a rock at my computer desk that I would sit it on enter, and I would go like make a sandwich and come back and be loaded.
Awesome. That's a genius idea.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I could still do that. I would definitely do.
I definitely peaked at that age. Like that was pretty much my finest moment for sure.
Yeah, just leave my game alone while I do homework or whatever, and just have the rock on the keyboard, like la la la.
It was a straight up rock too. Like I just found a rock outside. I'm like, this is the right weight and size. This'll do.
Incredible.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that rock.
Melissa logic.
Oh, I was living in 3000, man. Let me tell you. So anyway, coming back from that tangent, hilarious. So EA released its financial report for 2018. You can find it on their site. Yeah, you can find it on the Sims community if you're interested in reading the full report. but we found this piece pretty interesting and kind of a summary of what's been done and what is being planned for the next year. So it reads, our Sims franchise continues to thrive in live services. Our Sims 4 community grew by 4.8 million unique players last year. Our monthly active players continue to grow year over year, and we just crossed $1 billion in lifetime revenue for the game. We continue to have strong expectations for The Sims going forward, and in fiscal year 2020, we're bringing at least 20 new content drops and expansion packs to our Sims games across PC, mobile, and console. Later on in the report, it says we plan to bring a lot of great new content to the passionate and growing player base in The Sims 4, which, I mean, that's pretty good news, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that. I would say, 20 new content drops, that's a lot. I mean, I know obviously they're going to cross it between 3 games, but that's still a lot.
Yeah, it'll be, mixed amongst PC, mobile, console, but still, 20 by 3 is, 6 or 7 approximately. Right. I'll take 6 new content drops. That sounds great. Right.
And I could be wrong, but I feel like that's more than we've been getting.
Yeah.
It is. Didn't we only get 2 things last year?
Yeah, I think those 2 last year were kind of like the test cases of look how much people love free stuff. And this doesn't specify free content drops, but I think they'll be bulking those up as part of this number. Because if you think about, last year was Get Famous, and, there was the holiday pack and the patch update right before Get Famous. And those are just recent memory. There were probably things before that. But I think that's the momentum they're going with. It's okay, we have expansions that people will more likely support and purchase if we're providing them with, free content. This is speculation on our part. They might be referring to new content drops that's, DLC that you have to purchase. Who knows? But if, in my opinion, the trend is that they're going to be supplementing expansion packs with free content, which to me is really exciting.
Yeah, I agree, and I think they've really found their footing in terms of how they do updates. I think they've finally figured it out, which is nice.
Yeah.
So looking at this, last year, Sims Guru Grant posted something that said, hey, we have the next 2 years of content all planned out for Sims 4. So how I take that tweet, and with this financial report being put out of them dropping 20 new content items, I kind of take this as they're going out with a bang this year, and they're going to start development on Sims 5 or launch Sims 5 sometime in 2020 or 2021.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I would say 20. I think what they're probably going to do, they're going to continue developing, and this is just speculation, but I think they're going to probably continue developing Sims 4 stuff until, the end of 2020. And then in 2021, they're going to announce Sims 5.
I think that's happening, because that's kind of that's the trend of what I've noticed with all the other packs, is they'll kind of throw a bunch of shit out and then be like, okay, Sims 5 the next Sims is coming out, and it's wait, what? We have all this stuff, and now you're not seeing the next Sim.
Throw all the shit out, throw it away. No, that sounded bad, but no, I know what you meant. I'm just I
definitely feel that. And he said we have the next 2 years of content planned. That could just mean that's what we have planned. We now, after these 2 years, now we will have our new plans for more years of Sims 4. I don't really know what that means exactly. He left it vague on purpose, I'm sure, like Senator Grant does.
Yeah, I almost don't want to say this, but other people have speculated this as well. Some people have speculated that since Sims 4 is doing so well, it might actually be the last Sims game ever, and they're just going to continue developing Sims 4 indefinitely, which I don't know. I feel like there will be a Sims 5, but I also don't feel like it's coming anytime soon. I feel like it's going to come in 2021, which is pretty far off, actually.
I mean, it is and it isn't. I see that too. I think, they definitely continue to kind of put out content leading up to 5. But in my opinion, I think they've still got a ways to go on 4. Like, I think they could do more than 2 more years. I mean, and that's my, mindset of like, use every part of the buffalo. Like, there's plenty more to explore. And I kind of feel 2021 is really soon to sort of rehash everything all over again. Then we're waiting for a brand new game with all new expansion. When is Sims 5 going to give us university?
Right. We're just gonna have to go through
it all over again.
The same suffering and pain and assorted bullshit.
Yeah. So for me, it feels soon, but maybe we'll feel differently in 2 years. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? By then, maybe we'll be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if they're doing 20 things, I mean, what if 10 of them are for PC and Mac? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we don't know like how much of that they're coming out with.
You have no idea.
But I think that for them to successfully launch Sims 5, they need to bulk it up so much more, and it needs to be so much more impressive than the jump from Sims 3 to Sims 4 was.
Yeah, because Sims 4 on launch just kind of, I mean, I'm going to be very descriptive here. It kind of just shat the bed, and it was like, I'm kind of glad, looking back on it, I'm kind of glad I couldn't pick it up right away because I was playing on a Mac at the time, and I'm kind of glad I had to wait, because if I had bought it, I would have been pissed.
Yeah, no pools, no toddlers.
I'm going to be frank because there was no pools, no toddlers, no
anything.
What else did it not have? I don't know.
It was not good. It was not good when you could tell it was not done in the oven yet.
Very bad.
So I think if they do launch something like Sims 5, whenever they do, they need pools and toddlers should be in there. Cars should be in there. Yeah, I think
have pools and toddlers from the jump. Otherwise forget it.
Like the base.
Still can't believe we don't have cars.
Still don't have cars. I'm slightly better.
God, I know cars. Yeah, and I think they should totally change the graphics. Personally, I think it should be. I don't know how they would do that. I'm thinking they should make it look more like a God of War kind of looking game. Like if they want to make it so different, but I don't think that they would ever do that.
Like more realistic, more realistic people.
Yeah, like more realistic looking.
I think that would kill people's computers though, is the thing.
Like, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like they need to wait a while until like the average computer or laptop could run it.
That's a good point.
Like,
that's a good point. Until the average computer is even stronger.
Yeah.
So it probably has.
It's a hot take. 20. It's a hot take, and it's not far off because I think the reason that the Sims 3 to Sims 4 jump was so unimpressive was because 3 had all of this firepower, and it was just such a complex game, and we loved it. But I think 4 they went into understanding what was more sustainable for long term, and I mean personally, I'm a fan of that business model for the fans' sake. Truly, they've been careful about it, and I think that's good. And I agree that I think if 5 is coming out, I don't want this same timeline of like, and then we wait for this. When is the game gonna be complete? Right. And that's the base game. Like that should be a base game. And if they is the trade-off though finding out how to make all of that content operable on the average computer, and at what point do they dive even deeper into their relationship with the mods community? And we talked about this on our diversity episode. We as a team, I wasn't on it, but what if there was like an EA approved or sponsored or stamp of approval mod that it's like, look, here's the base game. This has got everything. If you're looking to tweak it A, B, C, or D, here is a free thing that you can get that, EA didn't make, but it checks out. It's not going to break your game kind of thing.
Yeah, endorse it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that that's a really natural next step because a lot of other games do that.
Yeah.
If you look at even Fallout 4, just as an example of something I play, they have their creation club, which is basically they work with certain modders to make things that you have to pay for, but they're like all approved by the company and stuff. So they're not going to like break your game. But yeah, something like that they could do. I don't know. I think it'd be neat.
I'm getting like feelings about this. Sims 5, like that seems, I don't know, it feels soon to me, but maybe I'm getting sentimental about it.
But I'm still attached to Sims 4.
I think I feel soon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm super attached to Sims 4. I'm super attached to the building and the gameplay. I love Sims 4, but I've been ready for Sims 5 for a while because we're past the 4 years. You know what I mean? It's always 4 years that they launch.
True. That's true.
With my mindset, it's like I'm not so much ready for Sims 5. It's more like I'm ready for more Sims 4 expansions that make it feel like a whole new game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because I want university and I want horses. It's like those two things alone are going to be enough to keep me playing for years.
Yeah.
You know, horses, I missed horses. Just for some perspective, it's like I missed horses so much that I went and played Sims 3 yesterday just to have horses. Like, I don't do that for really anything else.
I think the challenge is going to be, you know, what they did with 4 was, less impressive from the jump, but they built the sort of frame, the stability of a game that could be expanded upon and built upon, that it still does feel, I mean, to me, pretty fresh after, you know, when did it launch? 2014. Mm-hmm. So, we're past our 4 years, but to me, if they could achieve a base game that has everything we enjoy in it and the capability to build on it new things, not the same expansions we've done for the past 3 versions, new things, then, or maybe it's not expansions, maybe it's sponsored mods, maybe it's, you know, different, you know, maybe they bring back Sim stories and kind of go at it from a story perspective, and that's the added content. Because if I have to buy the same expansions for the same game, just plus, I don't know how long that I can keep doing that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I waited a long time to get into Sims 4 from 3 because I was like, I just bought every single expansion. And now you're telling me I have to do it all over again for a prettier game? Like, what is this?
I understand that. I mostly play Sims 4 for the graphics. I'm not even going to lie. It's not even for the gameplay at this point. It's just because it looks prettier. But, All right. So what else do we have to cover? The console patch from January 31st. Do you want me to do this?
Go for it.
Okay, so the players on console on January 31st got terrain tools, first-person camera, baby aerial, create-a sim items, and the expanded free holiday pack. And console players, this is an important note, can also get famous, which comes out on the 12th of February, which seems like a really fast turnaround for an expansion pack, and possibly because it's been well received by the community. Because it just came out in November and it's already on console, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely interested in like what the behind the scenes choices were for that, because it feels like there's always a big gap between, you know, the PC stuff. But I think because Get Famous got so much buzz that they knew they needed to push this one out.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of non-PC games, The Sims Mobile recently ran a quest called Illuminati, which, if you're a fan of puns like I am, you're similarly tickled by the play on llama in Illuminati. As you all know, llamas are pretty heavily themed in The Sims. It started on January 24th, but according to Iron Seagull, one of our Sims experts in the field, it only lasted 3 days, which, I mean, is generally pretty short for a quest. You unlock special clothing items for males and females. If you did have a chance to participate in the Illuminati quest and you play Sims Mobile, tweet at us, talk to us on Reddit. We want to hear about your experience in-game and what you thought about the quest.
I guess it's over now. It's February, but it's so cool. Neat. That's really awesome. I dabbled with Sims Mobile and Sims Free Play, but I have such a hard time with games that are like timed. You know, like you do a certain thing and they have to wait like 5 minutes to
reload your energy.
I just have a hard time with those. I get really impatient.
I have a hard time with Sims Mobile in general. I'm still so used to the PC version. It was just really hard for me to do it. So I don't know. It's nothing against the game itself. It's just
but it's cool for people who don't have beefy computers or kids. I think there's definitely a place for Sims Mobile, but I am just not one of those people.
Yeah, I'm not the target demographic, I don't think.
Right. And it's a very different game, the way that they set it up.
Yeah,
It's still an interesting
totally.
game. I like what they do with it. It's not something that I play regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So, to wrap up, we have a special homegrown challenge from our Under the Plumb Bob podcast team. Particularly, Roxy kind of was inspired to create this challenge, and we invite you to partake in it as well. We're calling it the 100 challenge, as in keep it 100, the 100 emoji. Gina Linetti is the human version of the 100 emoji, if you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Because everybody has done 100 baby challenge. Everyone, for better for worse, 100 baby challenge has been done. It's played. But so why not 100 of something else in The Sims? So we're challenging you to build, make, create 100 of something in The Sims. Snowmen. Make an army of snowmen. Make 100 paintings. Make 100 servings of grilled cheese. Roxy herself went through a couple of these. I think she did grilled cheese and paintings. And really, this is kind of your carte blanche to do this however you want. So we would love for you to get together that collection of 100 things, whatever it may be. Get a screenshot of it and tag Under the Plumb Bob, Twitter, Facebook. We'll go through all our social media handles in one moment. We're going to run this challenge just for a couple months this year. We're going to wrap it up and talk about it around the 100th day of 2019, which is April 10th. So get cracking.
Cool.
Awesome.
Have you guys made 100 of anything yet?
No, I'm gonna try for this challenge. I'm gonna try and have my sim write 100 books, though.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, I can't decide.
Almost at 100 crystals. Almost. I'm doing a science career.
Nice.
I'm almost at 100 crystals. I think I'm 70.
Very
something.
Cool. Yeah, and check out our social media because we do have an image of those a couple collections of 100 things to get you inspired. So definitely check that out.
We have a couple of awesome episodes coming up. Team Llama is going to tackle a cult challenge or just talk about the different cult challenges they've done. We all know Roxy is very partial to a good old cult. And Team Cowplant, we are returning with a lore and history episode about Don Lothario and his complex relationship with the Caliente sisters. Is that a cult too? So
that counts, probably.
I'm so excited for this episode. We've been all researching a ton. Our script is like 10 pages long of like all this stuff. We are all so pumped. I am so excited to talk about this. I've learned things about Dawn and the Caliente sisters that I did not know, and it's so exciting.
I can't wait. These are my favorite episodes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited.
I mean, and Social Bunny too. I love Social Bunny episodes because I get to record with all of you lovely people.
Yeah, we want to kind of rotate. Yeah. Obviously, Melissa and Jane are like the main hosts of Social Bunny, but we definitely want to kind of rotate some people in just because we do have a lot of great people on this team that are amazing that you haven't heard from yet, or people that aren't able to consistently record. So it's so nice to be able to hear different people on the team. Some people who are more like back of house stuff or researchers, like Becky, for example, we've only heard one time, all that stuff. So it's kind of exciting to like have everyone get to know the whole team rather than just like the few people that have had a chance to speak. So pretty cool.
Lots of great stuff to come. You can find us on social media in all the places. We are Plumb Bob Cast on Instagram and Twitter. We are Plumb Bob Podcast on Reddit. We also have our own subreddit, so check that out as well. Under the Plumb Bob Podcast on Facebook and Tumblr, and our website is undertheplumbbob.com. On that fabulous website, there is a contact form. You can type all of your heart's desires into that contact form. I mean, don't make it weird, but talk to us. We definitely want to hear from you. We are also on Twitch and YouTube. We're kind of starting to build some content there.
If you would like me to do the Not So Berry Challenge on Twitch, let me know. That's something we're kind of tossing around.
Yes.
I am
Yes, do it. I will come watch.
I'm in love with the Not So Berry Challenge. It is so fun.
Here's an even better idea. Twitch just introduced, I'm not sure if it's live yet, but a while back they said something about you can do a split screen concept so that you can have two people streaming on the same page at once. So maybe, you and I could stream it
who can get to 100 items the
alongside
fastest.
something.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That'd be
I didn't know
cool.
that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I don't think it's live yet. We'll have to look into that.
Oh,
but
okay.
We're learning every
tangent.
day. Listeners, you can also subscribe, rate, and review us on just approximately 1 million platforms: iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, Google Play, and if you have another podcatcher that you use to listen to your other podcasts, but somehow you've discovered us, let us know so we can get placed on your preferred catcher of podcasts. Podcatcher. I don't know. Is that a thing? We're making it up as we go. Again, contact forum on undertheplumbbob.com. I want to give a huge shout out to our fabulous researchers on this episode. Not only Jane and Marissa and myself put work into this script, but also Crystal and Roxy supplemented a lot of the content from the Maxis Monthlies. Thanks, as always, to the wonderful Sims fan sites all out there on the internets that provide a lot of our background knowledge. Sims Community, Sims VIP, Carl's Sims 4 Guide, Love Carl, and Iron Seagull on YouTube.
Yay,
we love you, Carl. And last but definitely not least, thank you for listening and loving this game as much as we do. We're so grateful to share a fandom and have this enthusiastic support from the community. We love hearing from you. We love your shout outs on various vehicles of the internet. Keep them coming because we're incredibly vain and we love to hear compliments about what we do.
Thank you, guys. We love you.
We do. And now it's time to go back to the real world. Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hold on, the train is going by at my apartment. Okay.
An actual train and not your train of thought? Okay.
They're both off the rails, so.
Sorry.
A mess.